Welcome back to CRC's Garage. I'm Chris. Today we're going to be working on my 1985 Dodge Ram D150. I was building this as a muscle truck, but I need a tow vehicle more than I do a muscle truck right now. Plus I got another vehicle that'll kind of check the muscle truck category. I'll show you that in a minute. So we're going to be building this one up. Right now today, we'll be replacing, I'm rebuilding the leaf springs. I got one set done already and we're working on the other side. Just need to reassemble them. But the leaf springs I have on it, I think we're at 2-inch drop, and I need that height to tow it, I need the height, get the rear end back up so I can tow a trailer. And then the front springs, they are worn out as well. And I got brand new coil springs. We'll replace those. But let me show you what I did to leaf springs. I used this Eastwood tool to strip off all the old paint and rust from the leaf springs. Then I hung them up and painted them individually. I found this graphite impregnated paint. I wanted to try that, so I put on I didn't paint the entire leaf springs with them, or with that stuff. I just painted the sides that would be facing another leaf spring with it. It'll probably wear off eventually, but I found it in the store. I figured I'd give it a try, see if it did anything, or if you could tell a difference. But yeah, so that's what we did with the insides of the leaves. I got a rebuild kit, got new sliders, new rebound clamps. So all I gotta do is put the center bolt through, tighten that down, and then we use a C-clamp on the rebound clamps to tighten that down, and then you use a hammer to bend the tabs over, and that's all there is to a leaf spring. So get that done, and then we can put these on the truck. So I got the new wear pads installed in the correct locations, in the little holes that they go in, snap into. And then this is the correct order for the leaf spring. On these leaf springs, they had this nylon spacer between the heavy duty load spring and then the rest of the main spring pack. And then they had these little shimmed pieces of look like galvanized steel. So I just painted those and put those back in. So all I gotta do is tighten this down, and then we'll clamp the rebound clamps on to where they're supposed to go, like that. Alright, so the center bolt's tight. So now all we have to do is put the rebound clamps on. There's only 2 on these leaf springs. But on this spring, there's a hole on the bottom leaf of the main pack. On the rebound clamp, there's a dimple. So this is going to sit just like that, and all that is so the rebound clamp doesn't slide off. So I'm going to use a C-clamp to clamp this down with the other half of the rebound clamp, squish it, and then I'm using a hammer to fold these down like the other leaf spring here that I've done earlier. And that's all there is to the rebound clamps. Just to have to do that there, and then this leaf spring's done. So the rebound clamps that I got came with these little rubber pieces, and all they are is to keep them from the rebound clamps from rattling. I've seen people install them without the rubber piece. So I used it because the factory rebound clamps on the leaf springs had them, so I didn't think it would hurt to put them on. So these are all ready to go. I just need to touch up the paint in a couple areas and they're ready to install. The way that it sits is I have a 413 out of a 65 Chrysler New Yorker in here. The original heads would have been a closed chamber head, close to 10-to-1 compression ratio, but I have 452 heads on it. I ported them using the Mopar Performance porting templates, and they got bigger valves in them, 214 intakes. So they flow a little bit better, but I lost compression. But that's the way that sits right now. Aluminum intake manifold, Mopar, dual plane, and then Edelbrock carb. It runs a little rich still. If I lean it out anymore, I start to get a bog off the line, and I have the accelerator pump, the biggest shot I could give it. So yeah, it is what it is right now. I can't, like I said, I can't go any leaner. Then I start having drivability issues. I can go leaner, but on the highway, the best I've gotten is just over 14 miles to the gallon with the thing. Transmission, it's a 4-speed manual. It's an 833, one of the overdrive ones. So 4th gears in overdrive. And I have 355 gears and the Chrysler 9 1/4 rear and a limited slip. So yeah, that's how it sits right now. Manual brakes, which are fine. I don't have a problem with those. Manual steering, though, when you're driving around, it's fine. When you're trying to get into a parking lot and going slow, it sucks. And since I want to use this for towing, yeah, it's going to be difficult trying to maneuver a trailer around with manual steering. So we're going to put power steering on it. The Borgson power steering box that they have, so it should be a nice, better feeling box than the factory one. We'll see how that affects the gas mileage. I don't know. We'll see if the power steering pump robs the gas mileage from the thing. So like I said, on the highway, I've gotten 14.7. So we'll throw the power steering on it, and then I'll run it again. Take a trip up the road, up the highway, and back, and see if it affects the gas mileage at all. I don't know if another pump on the motor will... I mean, you'd think it would hurt gas mileage a little bit, but we'll find out. So, like I said, that's how it sits right now. The 413 was really just a motor I stuck in the thing to get it running. I have a 383 that I'm building for it. That one I'd like, it's at the machine shop right now. That one I'd like to dyno, to run it on dyno, see how much horsepower and torque it's got, just for fun. But yeah, so once we get that back, I'll cover the build on the channel, building that up and getting that in the truck. And then that's going to be more of a purpose built engine for fuel economy and torque for towing. So we'll see how, like I said, I'd like to hit 20 miles a gallon on the highway with a big block. Is it possible? We'll find out. So it should be an interesting project, and that is for a future episode. So stay tuned. But I got the springs ready to go on. So about 32 3/4 approximately to the lip on the wheel well there is what we're starting with the lowering springs I have on it. So we'll swap out back to the factory springs and we'll see where we end up at. Here you can really see the height and the arch difference between the factory spring that I had that was on the truck originally, that's going back on now because I want to tow with it, and then the drop springs that I had made, to go on the truck. I think they're a 2-inch drop, but yep. So once we'll get these on, we'll remeasure the height of the wheel well and see what the difference is. But the original one should be better for towing. It has the extra heavy duty load leveling or overload spring. So all right, got the one side off, and we'll get this one back on and just have to do the driver's side now. The old leaf springs are back on, and let's see how much height we gained back. So we're sitting at about 33 3/4. So we gained back about an inch. I think I was at 32 3/4 before. I have to check the video again because I don't remember. It wasn't too bad, but it just took some time to wrestle the old ones out and get the new old ones back in. So I'm gonna take it for a ride, make sure everything's all right, and then tomorrow I gotta work. So the next day I'll see if I could get the new coil springs back on, and we'll see how much height we gain there. But I think that's pretty much it for the the 7-pin wiring harness. I gotta wire that up, and I still need to get a trailer brake controller and wire that in too. So but I think that's pretty much it for the D150 today. I'll catch you up next time. I'll give you another sneak peek of a car coming up on the channel. This is a 1957 DeSoto Fire Dome. It's a 2-door, which they're a little bit more rare than 4 doors. Usually, if you see a DeSoto around, it's usually a 4-door. First generation Hemi. The engine's out of the car currently, and transmission. So we'll be covering that engine build on the channel. First gen Hemi. It's a 341 2-barrel, but I have a 4-barrel intake manifold I might stick on.